hear me out, Gen Z. So I think if enough of us really started to believe and manifest that Delulu is the Salulu, I think that would be a really amazing way for our generation to be remembered historically. Like, think about it, right? Most recently, since the early 1900s, we've been naming generations. Like, the generation that came of age during the First World War was coined the Lost Generation, and they were like very disillusioned afterwards, and they ended up like rejecting conservative moral and social values because of this, like on a wide scale. And then there's like the Silent Generation, who came of age during the Depression and World War II, and they were known for like their resilience and their discipline, and they had a very strong sense of duty to their country and whatnot. And basically, we have this pattern of like historically characterizing generations, and sometimes the characterizations are positive, but more often than not, they're like negative, I've noticed. And I see a lot of Gen Zs and even like millennials and Gen Ys before us, and they really look at Gen Z as like very lazy and very like technology addicted, and like we're very coddled, which for the most part, like at face value, I can agree with a lot of those things, like fully. But like I think worst of all, we're very characterized by depression and anxiety and having like all these mental health issues in general. And I think we really do ourselves a disservice by identifying so much with that, you know? Like, yes, we're technology addicted. Most of us had computers in our house since before we were born, but like, I don't think that necessarily has to be seen as a bad thing. Like, yes, we've had access to a lot of bad stuff on the internet from an early age, but we've also had access to a lot of really good stuff that generations before us couldn't like find as easily, you know, like topics such as like manifestation, which I've gotten really into recently, and like how to really improve your self-concept and create your reality. I don't think any other generation has had this knowledge of like Delulu is the Salulu as widely as we have. Obviously that has existed since the beginning of time, the ability to create our own realities, but I don't think as a whole any other generation has had access to knowing that on such a wide scale that we have. You know, like we can do things like we can create literally like I feel like most of us, a lot of us know, like we can really create our own reality for better or for worse, you know. Like you can, with the internet, you could do like full college classes completely online now, you know, like certain things, like especially as like I think about it as a woman too, you know, like of course like sexism still exists to a certain degree, but I mean nowadays, like for example, like I registered an LLC for myself recently, and I'm, you know, like I'm making money like on here and with my music and stuff. And like I was just able to do that online really quickly. Like anyone can now, you know, like, and you can learn how to like, you know, manifest the money to fly to another country, you know, like I feel like we really, as Gen Z, like we really shouldn't talk down to ourselves as much as I think we do a lot of the time. I think we really actually have a lot going for us. I think we have the world at our fingertips. The world's our oyster. Um, like from the people I've met over the course of my life and my generation, other Gen Zs, I'm 1997, so I guess I'm like on the older side of Gen Z. But like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of us are actually really smart, you know? Like, and mental health issues, you know, they're legit, and depression sucks. I'll be the first to say it. But, you know, I really think we do ourselves a disservice when we have those things define us, you know? Like life really fucking sucks for everyone sometimes, but I do think we need to be kinder to ourselves as a generation. You know, like even some of the older generations, they talk down about us, but we can choose to be nicer to ourselves about it. I really think we're going to be all right. I think we can do anything, Gen Z. I love you guys. I love us. And we've incarnated for a good reason. We're here for a reason. So don't forget that. I love you.